Okay. Hey guys, welcome back to another video on mine, ours, and my whole family channel, because I usually just do like family vlogs and stuff like that. So it's not only my channel, it's their channel as well. So today I wanted to have a special video with my special guest, Scarlett. And we're gonna be doing like a mukbang, whatever, story time. I know this is a story time that I should be more private about and not talk about in front of her. But I have such a good relationship with her that I don't care if she knows or anything like that. I've never talked about this with her. She doesn't know anything that I'm about to talk about. And I'm going to keep it very PG because obviously she's 8 years old. By the way, if you don't know, this is my daughter. And yeah, so we're just going to be eating today. And I literally just picked up this fresh shrimp boil. It's from one of the girls that I follow on Instagram. Her name is Mariscos Platon. And I'll show you guys her Instagram. Her food is so good. Like the shrimp boil is just so bomb. I always order from her. And I just felt like doing like a little story time mukbang. Yeah, but this is her Instagram. I hope you guys can see it. If you guys want to follow her, if you guys want to already follow me on Instagram at Senia's Life, and I always tag her in my food when I post it. So yeah, that's what I'm about to do right now. I'm going to do a little boomerang. And so we're just going to be eating and talking, but like I said, I'm going to do a little 15 and pregnant story. So let's get started. It's a long time ago. So as I mentioned, she is 8 years old. So I did have her 8 years ago. But yeah, I was dating her dad. And if you guys don't know, my husband now is not her dad. That's her stepdad, but he basically raised her, and that's her dad. So yeah, that's all she knows. And I've been with him since she's been 2 years old. So he's a great dad. And yeah, so I was I think a freshman in high school. Yeah, I was a freshman in high school. It was my first day of high school. And basically I met her dad. He came up to me. He wanted to talk to me. And we just started talking. He was my really good friend before we became serious. So we dated for about like a whole year. He was my friend for a really long time first. I would consider him one of my best friends. So, what do you want to record? Yeah, I want to record. And he was my really good friend. And then, you know, eventually we started dating. I remember...
what is this?
It's a sausage.
Oh.
I remember when he would like ditch to my classes and stuff like that. And then we became official. So I'm gonna be like pausing in between because there's certain things like I don't want to say, and it's just personal reasons. But yeah, he is or was older than me. And
can I eat?
Mm-hmm. You want lemon? Okay. You have this one. You know, I was... Okay, so let's fast forward. I was dating him. We would go out. We would party and stuff like this. And at that time, I know I was young and stuff, but I did go out a lot. And my mom never really knew. But now she knows everything because I told her everything. But I ended up getting pregnant my sophomore year. And I remember finding out I was pregnant. I felt really sick. And, you know, I was super young. I didn't know about birth control. And in no way, shape, or form am I trying to promote, you know, teen pregnancy or anything like that. So I'm just telling you guys my story, a little story time. So yeah, I remember, like, this was the first person I had ever been with and whatever. And, you know, we had a our ups and downs, and then I ended up finding I was pregnant, and it was just, maybe in a separate video I'll talk about like everything throughout my pregnancy and all that, but I found out I was pregnant, and then so I started feeling really sick, I remember, and I didn't know it was like birth control, nothing was like that. I didn't know I was pregnant. Like, I just started feeling really sick, and then my friend told me that if I want to go to Planned Parenthood, that her mom would take me. And I was like, yeah, that's fine. Me not thinking nothing of it, like, oh, I could take a test at home or nothing. I was just like, oh, well, I'm gonna go to Planned Parenthood, and then I'll just get like birth control, whatever. So I went, and obviously for personal reasons I got checked, and when you get checked, you obviously get checked as well if you're pregnant. So I remember sitting in the waiting room, and then they called me to the back, and one of the little nurses or medical assistants called me to the room, and she told me she needed to talk to me. So she calls me in, and she's telling me like, you know what, how old are you, like this and that. And then I'm like, oh, I just turned 15. I think when I found out, I was like 2 or 3 months pregnant. Oh, I was 2 months. And I always had an irregular period when I was younger. So like it never even crossed my mind, to be honest. I just started to feel sick and tired. So that's how I started to know. So then she takes me to the room, and then she tells me, you know, you're pregnant. And I was like, I'm what? And she's like, yeah, you're pregnant. And I was like, how? Like, you know, and then she's like telling me like, you know, there's options, there's this, there's that, there's this, blah, 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 blah. And I just start crying and crying and crying. And this was like super early in the morning. My appointment was like the first appointment there. And I just remember being super early, and I just like, you know, at that point in time, like I didn't think, like I wasn't in the right mind, and like I was just like, you know, I don't want to be a mom. Like I was scared. Like,
Mom,
huh?
let's tie my shoes.
Can you tie your shoes? And I wasn't thinking like, dang, I want to be a mom or nothing, you know? So she gives me some paperwork, I fill it out, and I have another appointment that I'm gonna go to. So I ended up leaving. I was crying. I told my friend, her mom and my friend were super supportive. They dropped me off at home, and then I was like super scared to tell her dad. I don't know how it happened, but she told her boyfriend, and then her boyfriend told him, and then he called me, and then I was like, yeah, yes I am, like blah 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 blah. He's like, well, what are we gonna do? And at that point in time, I was just like, I don't want to be a mom. Like, you know, I'm scared. I don't want to be a mom. Like, I barely can take care of myself. Like, how am I going to take care of a whole child, you know? Mind you, being 15, I still live with my mom, so I'm going to school. Like, you know, I didn't work or nothing. Like, the only income I had was when I would go help my mom at work. Occasionally, she would give me money, or if I was cleaning up the house, like, that was, like, money that I would have and stuff. And he was older than me, but he didn't work either. So then I tell him how far along I am and this and that, and then at this point I think I was with him, because we were always on and off, and I think at this point I was with him. And well, I wanted to tell his mom first, because I know his mom would like be cool about it. So all I remember is, like, this was 8 years ago, so I don't know exactly everything, like, you know, to the T, but I remember that one day I was at his house, and his mom made arroz con leche, and she knew I loved arroz con leche, and she made it for me, and I was eating it, and then I felt sick, and then she walks out of the room, because I was eating it in the room, and I literally just opened the window and I started throwing up. When I'm throwing out the window, she sees me throwing up. So she comes in and she's like, you guys need to tell me something. Are you guys pregnant? This and that, blah, blah, blah. And so then we tell her, like, I'm pregnant, but I haven't told my mom. I'm scared. Like, I don't know what to do. This and that. So sorry guys, this is fire. So she's like, well, you need to tell your mom, we should talk to her, this and that. So and so then like a month passed, and then I was 3 months, and I was like, dang, I have to start telling my mom, like she's gonna notice something, like. And at this point my mom would always ask me, like, how come you don't have pads, why aren't you on your period? And I was just like, because I'm irregular, like, what do you mean, this and that? And then I was super grumpy, like super moody, such a crybaby, like I was always sick, and I just wanted to be asleep in my room. So then finally I decided to tell her. So I remember I was home one day, I was super depressed, super sad, I was going through it, and I was sitting down, and at that time there was I think I was on Facebook, and yeah, it was Facebook, and that's when Facebook was popping, you know, and I had seen some stuff, and I was just like, you know what, I need to tell my mom. So I told my mom through a text message.
Mommy,
What happened, Dad?
my chicken.
I don't have chicken.
Then that chicken.
That's not chicken, that's shrimp.
I want shrimp.
So it's spicy, huh?
Yeah.
We have all kind of mocos, like. So then I text my mom, and I tell her like this big old paragraph, and I'm like, I'm pregnant, I'm this far along, like I'm so sorry, like this and that, I'm going through this, I'm going through that, like I'm so sorry to disappoint me. Like I wrote her like a big old thing, and now she texted me back, well, what are you gonna do? And I was like, dang, that's all she's gonna tell me? Like, and I was just like, well, I'm gonna keep her, like I already told you how far along I am. And then she told me we'll talk when she got home. So I guess she came home, and before she came home, she told her sister. So my mom, her little sister showed up to my house, and I'm scared. Like I'm just like, dang, I heard the car. On my mom's house, I had the room in the garage. So basically she made the whole garage into a room, and I had that room. So I could hear everything like from the outside. So then I was like, oh, they're here. So I pretending I was asleep. So then I just remember somebody came in my room, and my aunt's like, I know you're not sleeping. And my mom's like, I know you're not sleeping. Blah, blah, blah. And they come in, and they're like, so you're pregnant? And I was like, yeah. And I just started crying. Like I was so scared. I didn't know what to do. Like not once in my life did I ever think I was going to be one of the first people of my friends or anything to be pregnant. So I didn't know anybody really that had kids that young or nothing. Like I was just like so embarrassed, dude. So I ended up telling them, and during all this, it's summertime, like to go to my sophomore year. So sorry guys. So they come in, they're talking to me. My aunt makes me an appointment with the doctor. Like she's like asking me how far I am, this and that. So then I end up going to a doctor's appointment. I was like 3.5 months, and at this time his family already knew. We had already told his family, and just my family didn't know. So then my brother got mad at me. Like my mom told my brother was pissed. I didn't talk to my brother for like till literally the day that I had her is when I started talking to him. During my pregnancy, he talked to me like maybe 2 or 3 times, but that was it. He was like Superman, and then like he was just disappointed in me. And I don't, basically throughout my whole pregnancy, I'm just gonna be completely honest with you, me and her dad were always on and off, and my family all knew that. So they were kind of just like scared for me, like what am I gonna do and stuff. So they were just being super supportive and trying to just be there for me. And you know, his family was there for me as well. Like, you know, his mom and his sister and the brother and stuff. Like, they were all there if I needed them. And then I remember, I don't remember who went with me, but like a few weeks after I told my mom, back then there wasn't like gender reveals or nothing like that. There wasn't like gender reveals, but I remember I went to go get an ultrasound, and when I went, they were asking me if I wanted to know the gender, and I was like, yeah. So oh, I was with his sister, and I think my mom was there too, but they left. I ended up leaving with the sister, and so I went, and then they told me it was a girl. I was super duper excited. I was like, dang, like, this is my forever friend, you know, like, I don't know. I feel like having a girl first is like the best feeling ever, because you have a forever friend. Like, she literally has been through it all with me, and she's only 8 years old. And maybe in another video I'll talk more about like everything, what I mean that she's been through with me.
I think I poked myself with this.
Oh, well, be careful. But yeah, I get all emotional about that part. But yeah, she's literally like my best friend. Like, she's been through so much with me. Like, you know, like, how do I say it? Like, it's because it's so awkward to talk about it, because she's here and there's things like I don't want her to know. And, you know, like, but yeah. So I remember finding out I was a girl, and then her dad, her sister, her aunt called her dad, and we were trying to, because he was at school. Mind you, I was a sophomore at this time. He went to a different school than me, so he was playing basketball or something, or volleyball or something, and we tried to call the school to announce that he was having a girl, but they didn't let us, unfortunately. So we called him and we told him, and he was like excited or whatever. And yeah, so then time passes, we have the baby shower, like, you know, in between I have so many stories. Like, I'm telling you, I'm gonna do like a whole series of like things that I've been through and stuff. Just the other one, she won't be here. And yeah, so at this point I was pregnant, and I wasn't really going to school a lot, because at that time, like, there were so many mean people at school that were like judging me, even teachers and stuff like that. And I remember I got in trouble in one of my classes because it was a dance class, and since I was really tiny, I didn't really show. My teacher was trying to make me dance or something, and I didn't want to do it. So then I got in trouble, and then my mom got mad because I had run away. Some point in this time, I had ran away, and she decided to move me school. So then I went to like it's called Esperanza, like a mom school. Excuse me. No more.
Yeah.
And it was a school full of moms basically, and teen parents. So yeah, and then through all this, like, I ended up finally going into labor. So I'm gonna fast forward to when I went into labor. So there was this one night that I was just like, I didn't want to be pregnant no more, and I heard that after 37 weeks that you could have a baby. So me reading that, I decided, like, you know what, I'm gonna have this baby. So I remember I told the sister, I read that if you drink this and this and that, you could have the baby. And she's like, yeah. So she went and she bought it for me, which was castor oil. And nobody come for me. I know it's not good, but you were the baby. I already know that. Like,
was my cousin Fernanda born already?
Yeah, Fernanda was born already. And so I was like, you know what? So I drank castor oil. I drank like 2 or 3 spoonfuls, and then the sister was like, let's go for a walk. And I'm like, okay. So I remember I drank that, and then I went for a walk with her. You want more shrimp, Dad?
No, I'm fine. I got Kenny.
Okay. So I went for a walk, and I was like, oh, nothing is happening, you know? So then I took a warm shower, and then I remember I was like running around the whole house. At that time, her grandma lived like in a trailer. So you know how it's super loud when you're like running and jumping everywhere. So I was like doing exercises. I was like doing the most, like the most. And they were just like literally just laughing at me like that I was crazy. And I was like, I just don't want to be pregnant no more. Like, I'm over this. So then I told her dad, I was like, well, you know what? I give up. Like, I'm just going to go to sleep. Like, I didn't know how none of this worked, you know? So I remember like at 4 in the morning, I started to get so much pain. Like, my stomach was hurting so bad. And I was like, you know what? Take me to the hospital. And he's like, really? Like, are you serious? And the mom was like, are you serious? Like, is this it? And I was like, I feel like this is it. Like, I need to go to the hospital. I don't know what labor feels like. I don't know nothing, you know? Like, I was like, just take me. So I went, and I was like, I think I was like 3 centimeters dilated. And then I got to the hospital. They checked me. They told me that. And they're like, but you're not contracting close enough for us to keep you. I'm going to have you guys walk around the hospital, and then you guys will come back. So I walked around the hospital for like an hour and nothing. So I was like, you know what? We're just going to go. His sister had to go to work. So his sister was like, just, you know, you guys can take my car, drop me off at work, and then, you know, this and that. So
Mommy,
I went back. I went to sleep. And then I went with the mom to go take the sister to her work. So then I remember we were dropping her sister off, and I was just like, you know what? I can't. And her dad was at home asleep. And I was like, I can't. Like, can you just take me back to the hospital? It just hurts so much. Like, it hurts so much. And then she was like, yeah, like, you want to go? And I was like, yeah. She's like, okay, well, let's drop her off. So she drops her off all the way in Palm Desert. And then from Palm Desert to the hospital, which was in Indio. I was like in so much pain. And then I got to the hospital, and then they kept me. They're like, you know what, we're just gonna keep you. I was at 4, and then they're like, but it's not close enough, and your cervix, I guess my cervix wasn't completely like soft, or I don't know what it was. And they're like, so we're gonna give you some Pitocin. And I was like, okay, like, that's fine. So I got there. Everybody started visiting me like at 5 when everybody was getting off of work. I had called my mom and everybody, but nothing was happening. So then they kept me that night, and then I remember they were like, well, in the morning we're gonna come and we're gonna break your water. And I was like, yeah, that's fine. And my doctor was so chill. Like, I love that doctor. He wasn't my doctor for my last baby, but he was already old. And yeah, it was just something that went between me and him when I had my son. So I have 3 kids, so I have 3 labor stories. But yeah, so then they're like, we're gonna come or we'll break your water, this and that. So like in the morning, like at 7 or 8 in the morning, my water broke by itself. So then they like put something of me to soften me, and I was already dilated like a few centimeters. But me not knowing, like, I didn't know nothing like this. And then my mom had C-section. She didn't have like natural birth, so like my mom didn't tell me anything. So they had ended up moving me to like a big room. I had like everybody in there. Like, everybody was in there. Like, it was just crazy. My aunt, my grandma, my mom, her dad, her mom, his sister, like everybody was in there. And then 2 nurses and a doctor. So my room was huge. And I remember I told my mom, I was like, Mom, I have to go pee. Like, my stomach hurts. And she's all like, well, okay, like, yeah, let's get you up. Let's go take you to a restroom. And I was like, okay. So I sat on the toilet and I was peeing, and then I got a contraction, or like a pain, because at that point I didn't even know what contractions were. And I sat on the toilet, and I was just like, ooh, Mom, like, it hurts. I think she's coming out. And my mom was like, what do you mean she's coming out? And I was like, yeah, I think she's coming out. And she's like, no. And I'm like, yes, like, I feel it. So my mom touches me down there. She's like, I can feel her head. You need to go lay down. So then they call the nurses and stuff like that. And then like the nurses come, and she's like, why did you get up? Like, you're not supposed to be getting up. And this, and I was like, well, nobody told me. Like, I wasn't told anything. So they were like bothered at me or whatever, but I don't care. So then I laid down, and I was like, I have to push. Like, I feel like I have to poop. And then they were like, no, you have to wait. You have to wait. And I was like, just so terca. I was like, I'm not waiting. Like, I'm gonna push. This hurts. Like, mind you, I didn't get no epidural. Like, I had like the drug medicine, and like earlier that morning, I think, like when my water broke. And I was just like breathing. I wasn't yelling. I was just like super calm. Like, my doctor and everybody was so proud of me. My mom was so proud of me. Everybody was like, dang, you did so good, you know. And I was just, I don't know, maybe because my pain tolerance is high, or I don't know, pero me salí bien chingona. I'm just kidding. No, but I was just like, okay, so I was pushing, like when I would get the pain, and I was like, the baby's coming, like you had to catch the baby, like the baby's coming. So then literally, like when they laid me down and they put my feet up, I think I pushed like twice, and boom, she came out. Like she was literally right there. Dude, she was like the smallest thing ever. She was like 5 pounds 6 ounces and 18 inches long. I ended up having her in the afternoon. I had her like at 12, and I remember at this time my daughter's dad was with me, and he was like texting all my friends like at school. Like, mind you, I'm fucking a little sophomore and everybody's in school. I'm over here having a chamaco or whatnot, or una chamaca, and everybody's like, oh my god, Scarlett's born, Scarlett's born. At that time Twitter was popping, so everybody was like tweeting like Scarlett was born and this and that. And then I took a picture of her and I sent it to my friends, and like she was trending or whatever. So then
yeah, I'm famous.
so then like I had her, and dude, like it was just so easy. But I think because I kept pushing when they were telling me not to push, I tore really bad. So this is like TMI, but I tore, and they had to sew me from like the top to the bottom. So since I was so young, my doctor asked me like, do you want to be a señorita again? And I was like, what does that mean? Like, and he's like, yeah, like I can make you a whole ass señorita again. Well, he didn't say like a whole ass, but he said he could make me a señorita. And my mom was like, yes, she needs to do that. Like, she's young and this and that. And I was like, what does that mean? And she's like, just let him do it. So they like numbed me, and they literally like sewed my whole insides back up. Like, it was just crazy. So because I was so swollen, like out of all of them, hers, I was super swollen down there. Parecía que tenía huevos. Like, I'm not even being dramatic. It just, oh, it burned so bad. And then you have like that little squirting cup and like the numbing spray. That was what tripping me out. Like, I was just like, what the hell? And like I would ask my mom stuff, but like I said, she had C-sections with me and my brother, so she didn't have like all that other stuff. So she really didn't know, like, you know, she would just tell me like put warm water, and like I would just have to like be very careful, and I was scared. So yeah, I ended up having Scarlett. So yeah, oh, it's below. So yeah, I ended up having Scarlett, and well, here she is 8 years later, strong, healthy, and sassy. But yeah, I'm gonna end my story here. I was not trying to get too in depth. Maybe in another video I'll get in depth and talk about a little bit more. And yeah, I'll tell you guys my life. I really want to do story times. I have a crazy ass life from my younger years or whatever. Like I said, I went out, I had fun, I did what I had to do. I wasn't a perfect parent, like and yeah, I have a lot of stories. I want to do a story time with Carlos, like how me and him met, like how my life is now. Like I can honestly say, well, no, you already touched it. I was like, I can honestly say that I have came such a long ways from where I was at in my life, and in a good way. Like, you know, everything happens for a reason, and I believe everything happens for a reason. And yeah, like I said, I'm not gonna talk about it too much. Scarlett does still see her family. She still visits her grandma and still visits her aunt and stuff. But unfortunately, maybe people are gonna ask me, and before anybody asks me, her dad did pass away in 2016. And I don't want to talk about that, so please don't ever, nobody ask me what happened. It's just a very private like scenario. I don't like to talk about it. But yeah, she's so blessed to have such a great family by her side. Like her grandma, her aunts, and her uncles, and everybody love her so much. Like everybody just loves her so much, and I'm so fortunate that she ended up getting the family that she got. And yeah, you know, this is crazy. But she's more blessed than anybody I know. Like, you know, she's such a strong, smart little girl. Like, I am truly blessed with like the greatest child ever. Like, she's so smart, she's so giving, she's so loving. Dude, she helps me out so much with her brother and sister. She's just like, you know, she's a kid, you know, she's sassy, she talks back, and you know, she has her moments. But I couldn't be more grateful for the person, the little human being I created. But yeah, I just want to say that. And thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you guys want to see more videos, please give this a big thumbs up and subscribe down below. And until next time, right?
Yeah.
You want to say anything?
I love my mom so much.
I love you too, Leanne. And Leanne is Scarlett. So this is Scarlett Leanne.
Ariana.
But I've always called her Leanne. Her whole life, I've always called her Leanne or
Even
Leanne.
my family, they call me Leanne.
Yeah. So if you guys ever hear me say Leanne or Leanne, that's her. So yeah, anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And until next time, guys. Bye.